If money didn't exist, how would the economy be affected? How would people act and treat one another? How would businesses be ran if money isn't an option? Today, we will talk about how much money could affect the society if it didn't exist. First of all, we would experience a lot of things that are horrible to even think of, especially with food, clothes, and shelter. Money is a kind of standard that people have to make for a better life. So if it were not for money, people would lose a standard and feel confused. If money did not exist, no one would have to pay for anything, which is in a way a good thing, but what money allows us is for there to be a balance between rich or poor people. Without money, we might learn to be comfortable with less. Without fortunes, there would be fewer less fortunates. We might enjoy working freely for a greater good. The Fed tries to influence the supply of money in the economy to promote non-inflationary growth. Unless there is an increase in economic activity, with the amount of money that is created, printing money to pay off the debt would make inflation worse. It's illegal to print anything that can possibly pass as an established currency, unless you're specifically authorized to do so by the government. You can make up your own currency if you want. The job of actually printing currency bills belongs to the Treasury Department of Engraving and Printing, but the Fed determines exactly how many new bills are printed each year. If money did not exist, medicine would be relatively underdeveloped. Perhaps we would still have discovered antibiotics, but they'd all be homebrewed. Doctors would again be master apprentice trained healers, heavily using herbs and perhaps to achieve the results. This is completely ineffective, but anesthetic would barely be a thing. The chances of infection could potentially be higher, and surgery would be a last resort measure. People would, on the whole, be less aware of world events. This is due to the lack of advanced technology. However, your average person would have more basic skills in survival: woodworking, basic repairs, and at least one viable trade. People would be much more self-reliant. We will already begin to see a repetition of early 7th age societies. The streets would no longer be safe, and you have a high chance of being ambushed, and anything worth taking would likely already be underarmed. The stationary communities and fortified positions may send teams out to raid nearby communities to establish partnerships with neighbors. It will be exhausting, as nobody will be willing to work for free to produce any more of the stuff people will wait in lines to receive. There will be people who are not willing to wait, and they will start using violence to go get what they want. They would resort to using force to obtain the items that they either needed or desired. Items simultaneously decrease in supply. Those who are prepared to use the most force get them. Governments would have far less hold over their people. With less complex technology, you're left with letters carried by pigeons or couriers. These can easily go missing, arrive late, or even lose their message. Top that off with only being able to take of what is produced by each citizen, and you have a less robust and less influential societal infrastructure. People would be more independent and rely more on themselves and their neighbors. Outlaws would also be far more than common. Communities would be tighter knit. After all, when you spend time at the local inn with all your mates, their kids play together. All your wives gather to have a book club or discuss how the new teacher is doing. They would be more like a large extended family, but that's a great thing. Without money, technology would be far less advanced, meaning pollution would be much lower. Think about it. Lower technology means no coal power plants, few factories of noteworthy size, less sewage from the generally low population, virtually no chemical runoff, no internal combustion engines, and a lot going unmentioned. If money wasn't a thing, people would go off doing their own things. People would be their own bosses, meaning they would not listen to anybody. What do they have to lose? They don't have to work or make money for their family and surviving. Without currency, the world will be in total chaos. Can you survive it? Can you live through life without money? Let us know. And as always, thank you for tuning in.